Time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real, real, real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, Minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzy with the facts, she never miss. Nah, I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. True survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah, we pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzy drop a seat, it'll never be the same. Never. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Energy, energy, yeah. Energy, yeah. Energy, yeah. Off the record, uncut and raw. We say the things you wish you saw. I said what I said, Foxy, Lizzy, Minion, the God. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. The record.
Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? It is the Off the Record show, live and in effect with your host, none other than, of course, yours truly, Minion with Opinion, aka Minion the God. And we have, of course, my two co hosts, I'm sorry, I said what I said, and Foxy 2 Roxy 3. Unfortunately, Lizzy, she's a little it's tied up right now, but she'll be on the next show. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, everybody, I'm doing fine. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hump day.
That's right.
All right.
Hello,
Well,
everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit the likes and subscribe if you don't mind while you're in here. Those that go to the replay, please hit the like and subscribe if you can and support this channel. Thank you.
absolutely. We have a lot to talk about today, don't we? It's a lot of stuff going on in America. Like the economy. We have Donald Trump. Oh my God. The Epstein files have came back out to rule its ugly face. And Donald Trump, I think he's gonna lose it on this one. I don't know. If you guys haven't seen it already, we're gonna talk about that. We also just got a new development. Um, we didn't have enough time to put it in, but it seems like the House just passed to reopen the government. So yay, the government's back open. But I mean, we're gonna talk about that and the Democrats' part in that and how it's making the Democrats look. We're going to have a discussion about that as well. Um, Also, what else we have to talk about? We got a lot of stuff that we're talking about. We're going to be talking about, oh, they finally swore in the Democratic senator. What state is she for?
Arizona
For Arizona. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things,
and the penny.
and we gotta say goodbye to the penny. So we're gonna talk about it all in this show. First things first, though, guys, we do want to shout out all the people in the chat if you're speaking. So I'm gonna give it over to my co-host so she can shout you guys out. I see you guys are active in the chat. We put the chat up on the screen too this time.
All right, so everybody can see it, and we appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. And like I said, welcome to the OTR live show. This is I said what I said, and I just want to say hello to Shanrock 2299. Thank you for being here tonight. Minion, you're gonna do the effects for me while I do this, or
I got you. Yep.
okay? Yeah, yeah. Salute. There you go.
That's
Salute our
what.
audience in, baby.
Yes.
we happy, we happy to have these people here. Hey, cross country
Absolutely.
cruiser.
What's up, Cross?
Hel- Hello to you, Lady Leo
Y'all gonna get mad at
251.
me. Y'all be like, stop my ears.
Well, you can do a hand clap. That'll be more sufficient. You don't have to, blow everybody's ears up. Because at the end of the day, some people may have some earbuds on, so we don't want to blow their ears out. Hey, Mimi, happy Wednesday, sis. Thanks for being here tonight. And we have Zelda. Happy
Hey,
Wednesday to
hey.
you. She said Lizzy is studying for her test in the morning. Okay, Miss Zelda,
That's
we got you.
right. She
We got you.
educated.
Yeah, she get her education. And we have Real 75th is in the house tonight. Happy Wednesday to you, sis. And thank you for being here tonight. And
Absolutely.
so far, that's everybody in the chat.
Well, thank you guys. Y'all are the true MVPs. And don't forget, as we're talking about the different topics, guys, we do want to hear your opinions. Please leave it in the chat so we can also go ahead and include you in on the conversation as well.
Yeah, and one more thing before we get started. If you haven't subscribed to I Said What I Said channel, Foxy 2 to Roxy 3, or Minion with the Opinion channel, please consider subscribing to each and last one of our channels, each and every last one of our channels, as well as the OTR channel, because we're trying to build this channel up also. It is our official political channel, but we're having to stream it on our different pages also because, we don't have our following up yet. So try to subscribe to the OTR channel as well, and we'll put the links in the chat. So in case you haven't subscribed to one of the content creators or the OTR live show, you'll be able to do that. And thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm putting the links in there now as you speak.
And thanks, guys. We really do appreciate the support. We really do want to grow the platform for OTR off the record as an official political commentary channel. Of course, it's not going to be a heavy political commentary. We want to also, have fun and joke. We don't want it to be just sad and always, talking about what's going on negative in the community. So please go ahead and subscribe. All right. And with that, I think we can go ahead and get into our first video. So the first thing I think we want to talk about is going to be the senator for Arizona. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long it's been. Do you know how long it's been since she's actually been sworn in? I know it's been over like a
I
month, right?
I know exactly how long it's been. It's been 53 whole days since she's been sworn since she won her election.
Wow. And for 53 entire days, she has not had access to any of her computer systems. Like can she even get into the building? I think does have access
Not
to.
not without not without someone escorting her. She could even get into her own office without getting an escort.
See, I mean that's ridiculous. How long does a swearing in take? What was
Uh,
the holdup? Well,
Listen, we got the swearing in, so we'll see exactly how long it takes.
Exactly. It sure will. We about to look. We about to look at how long this swearing in takes right now, y'all. Let's get into this first video.
Solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God. I do. Congratulations, you're now a member of the 119th Congress.
Hmm. How long was that? Was that 15 seconds or was that less?
Baby,
Okay,
I didn't even.
24
I was
seconds.
trying. I was trying to sneeze, and I didn't even have time to sneeze before she went into the office. So that's how long it takes.
All right, so guys, you see it. Obviously, they're going to try to spin the story or the narrative to make it seem like the government was shut down, no one was there, whatever the case may be. But 24 seconds, she could have been sworn in. So,
Wow.
well, well, we finally got that out the way, and now she can actually vote on the Epstein files, right? Because I think that was the reason why they wanted to keep her from swearing in anyway. But I mean, you know what? They took too long, and some other information came out. I don't know. Have y'all seen what was going on with the Epstein files?
Yeah,
What's going on?
a few emails came out. A few emails, and of course, Orange Man always holler, fake news. And his little Barbie doll always say, fake news.
Yeah, she was going to be the 218th person that they need to advance it through the House so that they can bring it to the floor for a vote. And that was one of the reasons why they didn't want to swear her in because they didn't want that vote to go through. So, yeah, that's why they stalled the vote. But I don't understand why why they stalled the vote because it was going to happen, one way or the other. There's no way that you can stop her from being able to represent her constituency. And so she actually had to file a lawsuit to make Mike Johnson swear her in. And she was in the midst of a lawsuit to make him swear her in. That's how serious it got. So, that's how far he took it. And you can tell when he welcomed her when he welcomed her to Congress, it was so fake. Oh well, now you're officially in the United States House of Congress, and it was all fake.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations, so that hurt him to even tell her that.
I think that the withholding or stalling her swearing in actually hurt the Republican Party as well because how do you actually square that away and tell people that you really care about the the voters and the people when you're not obviously you're not having them being represented on purpose. So
Right.
um well, she's finally in, and we're gonna see what happens with these Epstein files. And we're gonna see if we get some movement, some traction on them being able to release it. But the next thing, guys, we're gonna talk about, we might as well go ahead and get it out the way. It is the end of a saga.
Well, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia here, of course, made the last penny just a short time ago.
Well, after 238 long years, production has come to an end, a change made to save the government money since it cost nearly 4 cents to make 1 cent. Now, here is the moment the Mint produced the last penny. A press operator stamped it right there. U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach oversaw the final strike. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Madeline Wright shows us what the phase out now means for collectors, businesses, and everyday Americans.
You gotta land it.
Tossing coins on Ben Franklin's grave honors his famous saying, "A penny saved is a penny earned." But the final chapter of the humble 1 cent coin story is being written.
It's a sad day because pennies are my favorite coin.
What do you like about pennies?
I like how they're small but significant.
Now, a significant shift away from a coin that's been made continuously since 1793. For moms like Maddie Cowie, the change brings mixed emotions.
It's just the end of an era, and that the kids won't know what pennies are anymore, and that nobody carries cash and all the things.
Businesses are feeling the impact too, with penny production coming to a halt. At a supermarket in South Philadelphia, a sign at the register reads, "Due to the nationwide penny shortage, we kindly ask you to pay with exact change."
I'd be curious if that means all the prices will be rounded up. Will it be like how are they going to handle prices? That'll be an interesting discussion.
The end of penny production is creating new opportunities for coin dealers.
2, 3.
John owns a coin shop in Northeast Philadelphia. He says the sale of pennies is heating up.
I have people wanting to buy the pennies for 2, 3 cents each for 1 penny of just the ones that are just regular change now.
Billions of the coin are still in circulation. For many, the penny stands for hope and small beginnings, even though its value doesn't stretch far.
What can you buy with a penny these days?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Not when I was a child. You were able to go to the local store and say, yeah, give me what was it, like a bubble gum for a penny.
Even as people keep tossing pennies for luck, the mint is tossing in the towel. In Old City, Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Well, that is going to be an interesting conversation when you think about how they're going to start pricing things if there's no penny to give exact change. Like, are they going to give, do you give more change where you round it up or?
Well, right now they're giving out more change, and it's to benefit your end because they can't. Just say, for instance, they need to give you 8 cents, and it did happen to me in the store the other day. Instead of giving me 8 cents, they went ahead and gave me 10 cents. But I suspect we're not going to see these prices of 8.99 and 5.99. All the 99 prices are probably going to be rounded off to the next dollar. And the only reason why um, the stores were doing the 99 cents is anyway, just to make you feel like that you're not actually paying the next dollar up. So, say for instance, if something was 4.99 looks better than $5. So
Right,
now,
psychologically.
yeah, so now everything is going to be, in my opinion, I feel like everything is going to be rounded up to the next dollar now, or to the next even number, so that they don't have to worry about the store number one losing money. Because I did see a news clip where the stores were saying that they were going to be losing out on millions of dollars, and you wouldn't think that a penny um, would help be a big profit. But if you get a couple of pennies from everybody, and let's just say you have a million customers, within a 30-day time frame, well, then what is that? $100,000 for the store? So yeah, they will be missing out on money if they, by them eliminating the penny, it can turn into their profits, and that's what the stores were complaining about.
I concur.
And guys, if you can't see it on my channel, because I do see that my channel is spinning, look like Minion channel is running. Okay, so if you want to go to Minion with the Opinion channel, I didn't check OTR's channel yet, but I know mine's. I don't know, for whatever reason my channel is spinning, and the video is not really playing on my channel for some reason.
I know OTR is playing good. I'm looking at all
OTR
the.
is playing good. Okay, good. So go to Minion's channel or either OTR so you can see the show, and we apologize for the inconvenience. Can't hear you, Minion. You're on mute.
I said go to the Off the Record channel and subscribe. But no, y'all can come on over. Come on over.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Go to the Off the Record channel and subscribe to that channel also. Yeah, because we definitely want to build up that following. So I concur, Minion.
um so it's gonna, what do you guys think about them removing the penny? Are you guys excited? Are you happy or indifferent? Do you guys use pennies? Do
Well,
you
I
guys
have
have?
a lot of pennies. It's not that I keep pennies or anything, but I'm so used to just getting change and putting it in the console of my car. So I hope they're not gonna stop taking them. Matter of factly, that's really gonna inspire me to go to my damn bank, and the coin machine that they have at the
Yeah,
banks and
yeah.
at
I
the
was just
stores.
about to say.
Baby, I'm finna convert all my I'm
You
finna
better.
convert
You
all my
better.
change over. Yes, sir. I'm finna convert this change over and get my dollars. Cause we know how they do here in the good old United States of America. Before you know it, they'll be hollering, you can't even use your damn pennies no more. So
Right, right. You go
No,
to the
yeah,
they
store
be
so
and think it's worthless.
no, they be
yeah.
done remove the coin machines and say, okay, no more pennies. And we ain't got no coin machines. Or either the machine they program it where it won't set the pennies at all. And now you got a whole bunch of pennies and you can't do nothing with them.
Exactly. And I feel like next will be the nickel, then the dime. It's gonna be a domino effect pretty soon. I feel like they're trying to go to the realm of crypto. I think this is the first step of us
Hmm.
going into a crypto based economy is
You
what
know,
I
that's
feel
a
like.
good point.
I don't have any proof of that, but that's what I see in the long run. That's where this is headed to, in my opinion.
Well, I look at it, to me, it look like it's just going to go to computers where you don't even use any pennies at all, any change at all, any currency at all. It's going to be, everything is going to be electronic. So if they get rid of all the currency, then, you know, we strictly computers. And that's the sad part is because if you lose currency, a lot of banks are going to close, you know.
But not only that, they're going to have a lot of control over the government is probably going to end up having a lot of control over your finances. Or somebody will if it's all digital to the point where they can just press a button and wipe you out. Do you think that they're going to start having a social credit like how they do in Asia?
I think so. I mean, that's what it looks like it's going to. I was at, of course, you all know that I went to North Carolina for about a month. And while I was down there, I went to two different Walmarts. One Walmart had cashiers, but the other Walmart had no cashiers at all. They all had you check self checking, no cashiers at all.
Well, I feel like yes, eventually, but that's gonna take a while because if you go that route, then that means you're gonna wipe out the banks. And everybody is in this to make money, and all the banks and credit unions, because keep in mind, not only do we have banks, we have credit unions also, as well as financial institutions, i.e., where you like sometimes you can go get a loan, or is there where you go cash your check? You know,
Well, perhaps, do you think that's why they're trying to get us used to using our digital wallets?
yeah, yeah.
Because they can still use banks to manage these digital
The
accounts.
digital wallets, yeah. But they
Hmm.
won't need so many employees. Once
Yes,
again,
that's true.
machines taking everybody's job. And, that's one thing that I don't like about our politicians. They're always saying that immigrants are taking the jobs, when in actuality, it's the robots that's taking everybody's jobs. Amazon just,
Everybody.
yeah, Amazon just laid off thousands of people. And guess who's taking their place? Robots.
Hmm. This is true. But then at the end of the day, if you're a bank and you're in the business of trying to make money too, right? So you're not gonna lose. You're just gonna lose having to pay a whole bunch of people. So you're probably gonna end up. I don't know if you don't have such a big overhead, then
Yeah,
crypto may be.
the answer.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the only thing about that though, what's gonna happen, because it does happen. Look at my channel tonight. We can't even watch the show on my channel. So we know how technology is. And what's going to happen if another country try to hack into our security systems, our financial systems, and they can just wipe us out clean. I'm sure they probably can wipe us out clean now, but it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to wipe us out at this point. You put everything in crypto and Bitcoin and all of that mess. Once your money is gone, it's gone, and you got to remember the password. These days you can't even remember your password to your sites that you go to now, right?
But that's the reason why they gonna implant the chip into. They gonna make everybody get a chip implant. It's,
Child.
it's gonna have your whole. You ain't gonna have to carry no ID, no nothing. Just get that chip and keep it moving. You're gonna be able to open up doors.
I'm gonna research that because I did. Now, seriously, because I saw something on social media where they're actually uh, using prisoners as guinea pigs and inserting chips inside of prisoners and then reducing their sentence in order to participate in that program.
Wow.
Now, now I heard that on social media. I haven't researched it, so I want to see if it's true or not. But I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, MK Ultra was a real thing, so I don't see why this wouldn't be. Um. All right. Well, we gonna have to see how this penny thing plays out, but I do think this is the beginning of. It's funny because under Trump's administration, he has literally tore down and reconstructed a major part of the White House. He, I mean, he's completely demolished and obliterated the Obamacare. He's just done a lot in this term, and we ain't even a whole year in. Are we even gonna be able to recognize America by the time he is out of office?
Child. I,
Lord.
I don't know. I don't know because he's changing it. Things are changing, but they're still the same. He can try to break as many things as he can, and like everything else, once things change, a lot of times we don't go back. We keep them as is. And
Right.
let me give you an example of that. Like when we had the housing crisis, right, in
Mm-hmm. Prices
2008.
didn't go back down.
Yeah, when George Bush was in office and all the houses were in a disarray. Nobody knew who owned what. They straightened it all out, but the housing prices never went back down. In 2008, you could buy a two-story house here in Texas for about $250,000, and that was almost a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
That same house in Texas now will probably cost you $500,000. So the prices never go back down once something is torn up. And so I'm just afraid that a lot of things that he implement, if the public seem like they're not too upset about it, I don't think it's gonna change much. I think it's gonna stay the same on a lot of the things that he's doing.
So then, do you think that there's a possibility that at the end of his term that we won't even have cash?
Well, I don't think it's gonna go that fast. No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I think, as far as us going to a cryptocurrency, I think that's probably another 20 or 30 years before we'll do that. Um, they've been talking about eliminating the penny for the last 20 years, remember? That's been on the table for a long time. He's just the only one that actually came in here and did that. But, America kind of is like, it's kind of like the justice system. We talk about things, but it kind of takes some time to implement big changes. But eventually, yes, you know, will all of us be here to see all of the changes? No, we won't. But eventually, yeah, I feel like that's the road we're gonna head down. But that's gonna be a long time from now. I don't think it's not gonna be when he leave office. Now, don't get me wrong, he's gonna tear up everything he can and dismantle everything he can tear up. Dismantle. But he still won't be able to do. You see, the courts are stopping him on a lot of these things that he's trying to do. Even these terrorists they're trying to overturn these terrorists that he tried to implement because he don't want to follow the law on anything. The good thing about him, he's ruling by executive order, so everything can be reversed.
Right. Right. That is true. Okay. Well, we gonna see what happens. So, Foxy, you have any thoughts on this before I go to the next one?
No, we can go ahead to the next one. I concur with what I said. What I said because she's on point with that. Everything she said is exactly where he's going with this. And like you said, I just really feel like that he's destroying everything, and this is just another thing to destroy the economy. And it's just you got to think about all the people that work in those factories that make the pennies are now going to be unemployed. So there we go again, more people unemployed.
That's true. I mean, there was actually a man. Well, I mean, there's other coins. Maybe they'll keep their job. Who knows?
Mm.
But you got four locations. That's all they make is pennies.
Oh,
So
okay.
so you got them four mint places that they only make pennies. That's employees without a job. Philadelphia, I think it was. It's like four locations that all they make is
It's
pennies.
pennies. Dang.
So that's employees with no job because of those factories. One is in Kentucky, one is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I think it's two more Fort something and another location. So that's four locations where people would be unemployed. Or if it's another mint, other money, if they had certain people had certain machines, if you know about factories, you work on certain machines. If that machine is no longer working and you don't have no other machines for them to work on, those people are unemployed.
Well, the good thing about all of it too, don't get rid of all of your pennies because they will become a collective item. But it's probably going to take 30, 40, 50 years. But but just give it to your children and your grandchildren, and maybe they can capitalize off of it. You won't be able to capitalize, but it's like everything else that's antique in America. It will hold some value, and so especially the older coins.
I think the newer generation of people though are kind of moving away from the antiques and stuff. I don't. I
You
don't
don't
think
think
that.
it's you don't
I
think it's
don't
gonna
think the
hold any
antiques
value?
hold. I don't think
Well,
it.
they still advertising on TV. If you have a quarter, and the quarter, a certain type of quarter in dollar is valuable. So,
Those been on the infomercials since I've been a toddler. In 3 o'clock in
so
the
they.
morning, and they've
Oh,
been.
okay. It's not
Yeah.
real.
I mean, I don't know. I feel no. I don't know. Have you ever ordered one? No.
No, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
order nothing off TV like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, nah. But and what's up, all the people that done came in? I saw that a few people came in that was put up on the screen. So just want to shout y'all out. Common sense was good. All right, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens, guys. The next one that we're gonna talk about is, let me see if this is the right one. Hold on, yeah.
Okay, so Joe, a lot of people are saying, hey, listen, this whole fight was over health care. Where does that stand? Did the Democrats just give up and say, well, we tried, or is this still on the table?
The anger is real, right? This isn't manufactured anger. This is real frustration that a number of Democrats have with those moderate 8 Democrats in the U.S. Senate that ultimately sided with Republicans here. Someone who's taken a lot of arrows politically this morning, again this morning, is Senator Chuck Schumer. He leads Democrats in the Senate. He voted against this deal, remember, he spoke out against this deal. But the fact that he essentially allowed 8 Democrats to go with the Republicans is where there's so much frustration. It's why Leader Hakeem Jeffries is whipping against this bill, voting against this bill. Frustrated that the Affordable Care Act subsidies that are expiring this year, at the end of this year, look like they are going to expire. So if you're someone who gets your insurance on the marketplace, and there's a lot of independent contractors that do, small business owners that do, you're talking about millions of people here, you've likely logged in, open enrollment, shopped a few plans, Premium hikes, according to KFF, which is a nonpartisan healthcare policy foundation, 26% or so on average hikes for Americans going and seeing these premiums. There doesn't seem to be any help on the horizon. Now, Senator John Thune did promise a vote, perhaps in December, on this issue. But Democrats are saying that's meaningless because he doesn't think the Republicans will vote for it. Republicans have been critical of extending these subsidies. They've been critical of the Affordable Care Act. We're not expecting the House or the Senate to magically in December pass these Affordable Care Act subsidies. Again, that's the expectation now. Republicans are vowing to talk health care reforms in other means. President Trump has talked about giving more dollars for health care savings accounts. But one thing Democrats, if they didn't get the subsidies out of this, Holly, they did get a big campaign issue to run on in 2026. Healthcare looks like it will be a big part of the 2026 message by Democrats to try and take back Congress.
You're on mute, Minion.
Okay, so basically, they're saying that the Democrats caved and really basically showed us to be pretty much losers, if you ask me.
And we are.
You know, at this point, we were doing so good. We had so much momentum. The
Mm-hmm.
people came out and spoke in record numbers. Democrats were winning with record. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling. And then you have a few Democrats who capitulate and give in to what Trump wants. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a good look for Democrats? Chat, what do y'all think? We want to know what y'all think because I'm willing to bet that everybody's like, okay, yeah, no, this wasn't the right move. It did not make us look good. And with that being said, there's been a lot of talk about the fact that the Democratic Party doesn't have um like a real leader. Do you think that the Democratic Party needs to have someone that they can follow behind as their leader? Do y'all think that we need a Democratic leader?
Mm-hmm. I think we need to change him out. I think that Chuck Schumer is too old. He's trying to go by the old rules and regulations on how the Senate used to run. And we're in a brand new world now. We're playing it's a whole new game that he doesn't even realize is what's happening. And he's just taking these Republicans at their word. He's not actually, making them put it on paper what it is, whatever deal they come up with or what have you. A handshake just don't work anymore. Um, this is not your grandfather's Republicans, and these are not your grandfather Democrats. And so, therefore, things have to change. And so I feel like he's too old and set in his own ways. And I think we need a new leader.
But what about a leader in the sense of what Donald Trump is to the MAGA movement? Do we need somebody that because to be honest, who really knows Chuck Schumer other than people who are into politics? But everybody knows Donald Trump, and all of the Republicans, especially MAGA, he can't do anything wrong in their eyes. They follow behind him and do whatever he says. Do we need somebody like that for the Democrats?
Well, I don't want anybody corrupt like him, but I do want somebody that can stand toe to toe with him.
If you think that we do need a leader like that, who would you think would be the person to take that role?
Well, I think Cory Booker could take it. I think Jasmine Crockett could definitely take it. AOC.
What
Of
about
course,
Mom Donnie?
Mom Downey can take it. But Mom Downey is as a mayor, and I was getting ready of New York, and I was getting ready to say AOC and Jasmine Crockett is in the House, so they're gonna have to,
Mm.
upgrade to the Senate because that's the Senate majority or minority leader, right? So you have to be in the Senate in order to lead the party.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
So,
you can't. Yeah, you can't be in the House of Representatives because the House of Representatives are
but
below the
I don't
Senate.
think we're talking about. I don't think we're talking about the same thing. So,
Well, the
I
leader of the party is the president, though.
I get that, but you know that Donald Trump was the leader even when he wasn't the president, right? They still follow behind him. He was like
Yeah,
their
I know what you're saying. They followed him regardless whether he was a president or not. So you're saying you want somebody to be the face of the party for the Democrats.
right. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Well, Gavin Newsom.
Mm,
To me, Gavin Newsom is the only one that can get under Trump's skin right now. He's going toe to toe with Trump right now. He's trolling him. He's making fun of him. He's getting under his skin, and he's playing the same game that the Republicans are playing. That's the reason why Texas wanted to get 5 new districts. Well, California got 5 new districts, so I think Gavin Newsom would be perfect in that position.
well,
I agree. I agree. Gavin Newsom is getting up under his skin. Bad.
well, I think that he is, yes, but I do think that Mom Donna, he called Mom Donna, he said, "That's my little communist." I said, "Look at my little communist." And I was like, Trump. So I don't know, maybe
I like Mondani, but Mondani don't have enough experience.
you're right.
So
I
you
well,
you you
it's
got to have some experience to play these games. You got to know the Senate. You got to know the rules of the game in order to play the game.
but
And
if you think
Mondani just
about
getting
it,
started. He's just getting started though.
that's why he may need to be the person, someone who's not corrupted, because of the time that they've been in the political seat.
But Gavin Newsom is not as old as Trump him. Gavin Newsom is only in his early 60s or maybe late 50s. He is the perfect person. He's been in office. He knows you gotta know the rules of the game in order to play the game.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a very formidable opponent for Trump. But I don't know. I think that if we do somebody younger, it will be bring a different dynamic because look, we talking about Newsom. He was able to, yeah, rally up a whole bunch of people around him because of the way he's been trolling Trump. But this man, Mamdani, like he got everybody to just. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he made a huge impact in such a short amount of time that we got to put him in the running at least.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Hmm. He
Okay.
hasn't even been. He hasn't been in government. He haven't never. He hasn't. So you got to be able to lead people. We don't know. All he's been able to do is inspire people, right?
That's all Trump do. That's
I under,
Trump.
But see,
I understand that.
Gavin Newsom know how the politics work. He know how to
There you go.
he know how the politics work. He know how to he know how to inspire people, and he also know how to stand up for the people. So this guy, I got you with the inspiration and he's standing up. But Gavin Newsom have had some years with his politics. This guy's just getting started. So Gavin Newsom knows the ins and the outs and know how to play the game. Sometimes you gotta know how to play the game, so you won't. Hey, they play the game, we play the game. You know.
Well, Mom Donnie did say that he is going to try to get every person in the city of New York free health care. So if he can achieve this, what would y'all say then?
I can
It's still a no
understand.
for me.
I can understand getting the health care, but are you going to get? You got to deal with politics. Politics get a little deeper than just health care. I have heard a lot of people say, "I'm gonna get you health care. I'm gonna get you this. I'm gonna get you that." But you got to also realize that he got legislation too that he got to fight with. And if you got a whole lot more Republicans in there than you do Democrats in his state, he's going to have a hard time with that. So he can say what he's going to do, but it depends on what his legislation in his state do. So you got to look at that too.
But that's what I'm saying. What if he does? What if he's able to actually achieve all of the promises that he decided that he was gonna run on.
I'm still not convinced. I feel like you need some experience, and I said what I said, and I'm not changing my mind.
uh,
And look, and I'm foxy too, and I concur.
well, I think that we should definitely wait and see. I understand, yes, Newsom, and I do think that he should definitely be one of the contenders. But I do think that Mom Donnie will be a good opponent as well. I
I
also oh,
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
now I was gonna say I also think that we can't count out the females that have been, like Jasmine,
Yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna
AOC.
say. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I prefer Jasmine over Madani because I feel like Jasmine Crockett is smarter than Madani. She's a lawyer, and I don't know what he is. I haven't looked at his background or heard anything about his education. I hadn't looked into it enough to know, what he is. But I know she's a lawyer. She has spunk. She can inspire people, and I feel like she would be a better leader than Madani would be.
So the reason why I have to give a little pushback, not saying that I don't agree that she would be a great leader and a great contestant, but the reason why is because I feel like I didn't know who Mom Donnie was within the last year is who I still really don't know him, but his name is everywhere. And I feel like somebody with that amount of that can make that big of an impact in such a short time, where others who have been in office, I think that we're looking at it in a lens that Trump is completely the opposite of what we would consider an ideal president, right? Or a candidate even for presidency.
Yeah, but Trump has charisma with his constituents, and he's been lying for a long time. And he knows how to brand, allegedly, as far as the lying go. But he's been an alleged con man for forever, for the longest. Like if you look at his niece's channel, Mary Trump, she gives you the breakdown of him and how he came up and how he started lying as a kid just to impress his father. And so you're gonna need somebody that's very um, fast on their feet. They don't have to be a liar, but they're gonna have to know what they're talking about, and they're gonna have to be able to persuade people. And that's the reason why I say I feel like Jasmine Crockett can inspire people. But Madani also have like an Obama. Um, he has that.
Right. That's the thing
He
that I
has that.
like about him, right.
Yeah, when he do his speech, he kind of do sound like Obama. He can inspire also. Don't get me wrong. I just think he just needs some more experience. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but I just feel like he just don't have enough experience yet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, then you know who I think has the experience and has the delivery that I think could inspire people. Because let's be honest, Jasmine Crockett, she has the delivery of someone who really just doesn't care how you take it. You going, she's this is the keep it real, that keep it real attitude. You like it, you take it or leave it. But I think Michelle Obama. If What do you think about her?
Michelle Obama is great. Don't get me wrong. I love
Uh
our first lady. Don't get me wrong. I love Michelle Obama. Okay, I'm a woman. I'm all about women empowerment. But
uh
I just feel like even Barack Obama. I just feel like they go by the old rules and they worry up. There are too. They dot too many I's and cross too many T's. You need somebody that's not gonna play by the rules all the time. And that's what I'm talking about. When you're in the fight for your life, you can't worry about if you knock the person out the correct way and worry about if the referee gonna, say that's a foul. When you're in a fight, everything goes. Okay, everything goes. Whether you pick up some dirt and throw it in their eyes, or get a stick and knock them out, or whatever you got to do, and not that I'm condoning violence. I'm just trying to give a correlation of a real fight. When you fight, you're fighting, and you can't dot I's and cross T's when you're in a fight. In other words, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. And I feel like Michelle Obama would do that. I feel like, the classiness that she has and her ethics that she has will not allow her to go below the belt. Even with Obama, Obama could have been out here. Even when he was the president, he knew how dangerous this guy was, but he stayed out of it. Do you think Trump would have stayed out of the election if he had somebody else running and he was the president at the time that Trump was running? I guarantee you, Trump wouldn't have stayed out the election. He would have been trying to hold up whoever it was. Let's just say Ron DeSantis. If Ron DeSantis was running, Trump was the president, and we're going to get to see that anyway on his last year. Whoever the Republican nominee is, he's going to endorse that nominee, and he's going to do everything he can to try to get that person elected. Just like he insinuated himself in the New York election. He told New York, if you guys elect Madani, I'm going to take your federal funding away. I don't know if that's the biggest threat that you can make to anybody. That is a threat, and that is insinuating yourself into the election. And normally a president don't go that far, but he doesn't care.
Right.
He don't care about the norms. And so, yes, Michelle Obama can inspire people, but she's not going to not go by the book.
Right. I agree with you there. Either Jasmine Crockett or Presley. What's her name? Ayan.
Ayanna Presley.
Yes, either one of them.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll fight, and look, they'll go below the belt if they have to. I've seen them in action, so they go. Now I know Crockett to go really below the belt. The bad built butch body, but but
Yeah.
Presley will go below the belt too. I've seen her in action too. So either one of them. We need a new face that's going to stand strong and go toe to toe with the Republicans at the level they're at this time.
Right. And I got one more person too to make a contender. And that's Letitia James. Let's not sleep on her. Because Letitia is very methodical. She's very smart, and she know the law backwards and forwards. And she know the loopholes that she need to use in order to get around whatever it is that they're trying to throw in her face. She knows how to get around that. And she's not dogmatic. She's very straight and forward to the point. But she also know how to play the game with them also. I would prefer to have Letitia more than I would have Michelle Obama.
She said, "Pull them smoking guns out." That's funny. I think that Michelle Obama quote, "When they go low, you go high." I think that in the moment it was something that inspired people. I think that in today's environment, it's a saying that haunts her because of. But I don't think that she's somebody because of that statement that can't meet the moment. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, that statement, it resonated with people and it gave hope to people, and who didn't feel like going through all of the drama at the time, and was tired of it and wanted somebody to start speaking some sense.
Hmm.
At some point, we understand the fight, but then it gets exhausting. Just like the stuff with Trump, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And I think that once this is over, people are not going to want to just have somebody that's kind of like, that's willing to just be on that time all the time.
Right. He wears everybody down. And people kind of relaxed when Biden was in office. They called him Sleepy Joe. But Sleepy Joe got things done. He got the economy back on track. And he actually, it's a lot of things that I felt like he should have done that he didn't focus on. But he focused on the things that he wanted to focus on, and he was able to achieve, the things that he wanted to achieve. Now, Michelle Obama was warning people. She was warning everybody at the Democratic National Convention. She took her gloves off. She did what she didn't even worry about going low and we go high or what have you. She told it just like it was, but still she had too much etiquette for my liking and for my taking. I'm just saying it was still too proper, too prim and proper. And if Bernie Sanders wasn't as old as he is, he would be the perfect person.
Perfect.
He will be the
Yes.
perfect person to do what I love his speech. I love his fight. I love his telling it like it is, his folksy talk. Bernie Sanders is really would really be the man, and for him to be the age that he is, he's still going strong.
Yes, he definitely is. And I think that AOC is doing herself a great service by,
Yeah,
stand up under him.
following his footsteps. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's gonna make her very formidable in the future, and really I hope AOC run for Chuck Schumer's seat. That's who I want to take Schumer's seat, and everybody is trying to edge her on to
Go
take
ahead
him
and
up on
run.
yeah, to go ahead and run against him. And I hope she do because I feel like if she did, I think she'll win.
I agree. I think she will too. I really do. I think she will win because when she was out there with what's the name, she was doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? She was
Yeah,
she was doing the damn thing. They was out there getting the crowd together. They look how large the crowds were following them. So I think that she'd be ideal to be the one that be on the House floor as a leader. To lead them in the way they need to be led. Because right now,
in the Senate.
I mean, in the Senate. Because right now,
Hmm.
ooh, we need some help.
Well, see, the good thing about Madani, since Minion love him so much,
I don't even know that man, to be honest. I just learned about that man. But
I
one
think
since
thing
he
I,
likes saying the
since
name.
since,
I think he
since
likes saying
Minion,
the name.
yeah, since Minion fighting for Madani so much, the good thing about
that
Madani,
speech moved me though. That was my first time hearing him
child, we could
speak. I was
tell,
like, okay, okay, Mr. Mamadani.
baby, we can tell you fell in love.
Okay.
However, the good thing about him is, the Republicans and the centrists always want to call Bernie Sanders a socialist, right? Because he
Mhm.
want to have programs for the poor people, for the everyday working man. And so the Republicans have branded that as being a socialist. Well, Madani ran on being a socialist. He said he was a socialist. So he's getting people
Prepared.
prepared and he's giving them an out, and he's making that word very familiar. They
Hmm.
try to make it, they try to turn it into something bad, and the younger Gen Z don't that Gen Z is like, well,
They
if you're
like
going to help,
socialize me. Give me some
they
free
like the social,
hugs and
yeah,
give
if
me
you want to
some
give,
free.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good with that. Give it
Yeah,
to me.
so it's not a dirty word anymore, and and
Right,
Gen Z don't care about you calling them a socialist. They're like, if you're gonna give me what I need, then yeah, I'll be a socialist.
right.
Call
Why
me
wouldn't I
whatever you
be?
want to. Yeah, call me whatever you want to, and that's exactly what I would be. And so the word socialism is turning around, and socialism in the young people eyesight is like, oh, okay, it's somebody that want to
It's the
help us.
direction that we need to go in anyway.
It's the direction we need to go, and we finally have somebody that will listen to us and that's trying to help us. So
Hmm.
the Republicans have ran that name into the ground, and they have ran on that for the last 40 or 50 years. And like Foxy said earlier, everything got to fall down. At one point you're gonna be up, but it's all got to come down. So the word socialism is not a bad term anymore.
Nope. Free healthcare for everybody. All
And
right.
a state-owned grocery store. How about that?
Right.
State owned grocery store.
And free daycare.
I
Didn't he?
mean,
Didn't he say he wanted to do free daycare also?
yep, yep,
Yes,
free
it sure
daycare.
did.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I mean, if you don't want to take the government services, you can go. You feel free to purchase your own, but it's there for you if you need it. I think that's a great idea.
And see,
Um,
really, it's new ideas, young ideas, And see, we've been on this old fashioned, everything old fashioned. It's time for some new ideas, some new, inspiration, some new, the young people have been excluded from the government for so long that they feel like nobody's going to listen to them no way. Nobody gives a hoot about them no more. And they just, out here just here. We need to, bring them in, make them part of our, part of the United States. And I'm glad that we're getting new faces and younger faces in there to change some things because that old way is not going with what society is going with. Right now, society is going young. And a lot of us older people are not going to be around always, and you need some younger people to keep this torch going.
And I agree. I think we do need some younger people, but and I just forgot my thought. So uh, what was I gonna say?
We don't know.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
I know, right?
At such a young age. However, I feel like the young people are the way, and I hope somebody do step into the forefront and just take the lead. We do have a few young congressmen that were ushered in the last 2 years. Uh, what's the guy name from Florida? I forgot his name. But he went to Congress, and so we're getting them in younger and younger, and these old people just need to get out the way. We have way too many old politicians that just need to retire. Nancy
Okay.
Pelosi finally retired after 100 years, and Nancy Pelosi was great for America.
100
Don't get me
years.
wrong; she did a terrific job. But good God Almighty, when are y'all gonna spend some time with y'all damn grandkids and y'all children? Their whole life, y'all gonna just dedicate your whole life to service? And it's nothing wrong with serving the public, but at a certain point, I hope, the next president that we get, I hope they put some term limits on this mess. And that's from the Supreme Court all the way down to the House of Representatives.
Okay.
Governors have term limits, and in the states they have term limits. So why can't the federal government have term limits? It's crazy and it's asinine.
Yeah, I agree. And also, what's that gentleman name that they kept saying that were passing out all the time? The old man.
Mitch
What was,
McConnell.
yeah, Mitch McConnell. When,
Yeah.
when he's going to retire, that man some of the time sit there and look like he's in the daze.
Child. But you want to know the other thing that I was gonna say? Is with the free healthcare and the free daycare and all the other stuff. Imagine, because I feel like those are the burdens that people that weigh over people's heads. Like daycare. I think that's a really big stress to a lot of people. Because daycare is expensive. Medical is expensive. Just imagine how much stress would be off of us if we knew we just had free healthcare, didn't have to go through open enrollment and see everything getting taken out of.
Hmm. And
So
the whole thing about it too, you can have more people in the workforce if you gave those services out. And I don't think it's such a capitalist country, and they want everybody to pull themselves off by the bootstraps. Well, hell, some people ain't got no bootstraps. Some people don't have anything, and some people have so many children to where it's not beneficial for them to go to work. They have to live off the system because if you're paying anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a week per child in daycare, then you're not going to go to work. You're going to stay at home and keep your child yourself. It's more beneficial for you to stay at home.
you
So
wouldn't be able to. You still ain't gonna be able to make it
yeah,
if
you
you
still
did
not going
work.
to, yeah, because all the money is going to go to the damn daycare.
Right.
That part. And look, Mitch McConnell, I just looked it up. Mitch McConnell been in office for 40 years. 40 years.
They got one in there longer than that, the one from Ohio, Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley probably been in Congress 60 years. That man is like 89 years old, if he ain't 99.
And Mitch McConnell is 85.
And the thing that I don't like about having older people in the government positions, I feel like that gives you a long time to learn how to be corrupt and to learn your way around the system. I feel like when you have newer people, they're less likely to take those. But maybe I might be wrong because they may be more likely. They like, look, I don't give a fuck. coming in here just to do this. So I don't know. But when you're more experienced, you know your way around, like y'all said, the law and different things like that. So
Yeah, we don't need everybody to quit. Just everybody that's over 70 go home. If your ass is 70 years old, you need to go home and go be with your grandkids. You got more time behind you than you do in front of you, and let some of the young blood come in there and run some things. And at the end of the day, the young people is their future. It's going to be their country. So let them implement their own rules.
that's
And I
true.
feel like they will play more fair than what these people are playing right now. Right now, we have, in my opinion, we have a social media government at this point. Everything is ruled by social media. However, the public feel on social media, then those are the policies that are implemented, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like this is also a government that's implementing a transfer, the biggest transfer of wealth from the middle class to the rich in history too. So you also got that to deal with.
Okay, are we going to acknowledge the chat? The chat been lit, and nobody's acknowledging them and their statements.
Well,
So
why don't
we
you do it, Foxy?
Yeah,
no, you
you more than welcome to highlight the chat, because I'm over here I'm doing all this talking, and let's go here, and they're just kind of agreeing with what we're saying. She said the Dems are punks. I said it's punks. They
They
are.
definitely. I mean, I wouldn't say all of the Dems are punks, right? Obviously, all of the Democrats aren't punks.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're talking about Newsom, Mom Donnie, AOC, Jasmine. So we know
Mm-hmm.
that we got an
Presley,
arsenal,
Presley.
right? Letitia.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that
I
aren't
now, now
punks.
now I hope that's going to be the next Attorney General is Letitia James. That's who need to, if we get the Democrats in office and they're going to be the president, they need to hire Letitia James and put her right there in the Attorney General office. Because if we would have had a, instead of having what's his name, Merrick Garland, he didn't do anything, in my opinion, as the Attorney General. And I don't know if Biden instructed him not to go after the people the way he should have went after them. He should have put everybody in jail that had something to do with January the 6th, and he did nothing. He waited until the last year or two to even try to go after Trump, where Jack Smith had to stop his investigation because the Democrats didn't win again. And so we need an attorney general that's going to hit the ground running on day one.
Absolutely,
And
Letitia
that should
definitely
be,
gives that energy. Yeah.
yeah, and that should be Letitia James, in my humble opinion.
And I agree. I agree that it should be
Okay,
her.
somebody said what happened to Hakeem Jeffries?
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries is beholden to the super PACs, in my opinion.
To his
Uh,
donors.
to his donors. Yeah, his super PACs, to APAC. He get money from corporate donors. And that's what's wrong with a lot of these politicians. They get their money from these corporate donors. So you be trying to figure out, like, and that's why, come on, I don't agree with all of the Democrats, because a lot of them make laws depending on what their corporate donors are saying. And so Hakeem Jefferson is right in there with them. And so that's why come they need to take all the money out of politics and let these people, do grassroots, get money from the American public. That way, the American public can make the decisions and not these corporations and big billionaires and millionaires, because that's what's going on. That's basically what's going on, and why we can't get some of the things that we want to get in done in office. And Hakeem Jeffries is no exception to the rule, in my opinion.
He actually looks like he probably would be with the shits. You know what I mean? Like in terms of engaging in some type of corrupt
Corruption,
activity.
a
Hmm
lot of them are, and they all
But
go in
when
there.
he has this look that just it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very
Mhm.
cold. I don't know.
Calculated,
Yeah.
conniving, cold, calculated, and conniving.
Calvin,
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
can describe his ass really
You
well.
got it. uh,
Exactly, exactly. I mean, he look like, you know how you look at a person, they look sneaky. Like, okay, I got him food. Now I can go ahead and do the, let down the hammer on him now. he looks like the sneaky type. Like he come out, he would come out of the
Yeah,
shadow.
He'll
yeah.
say anything to make you happy and be behind
Hmm.
closed doors, orchestrating something completely, whatever.
And Nancy Pelosi was with the donors also, but I just feel like Nancy Pelosi stood up to her donors and just let them know, no, I'm gonna implement this, and you just gonna have to like it. Now I'll do some of the things you want me to do, but I'm gonna do some of the things I want to do. And if
Right.
you're gonna have
Right.
corporate donors, then that's the way you should operate because Nancy Pelosi did implement a lot of policies that helped America, in my opinion.
I agree too. I agree, and I think a lot of those that's in the house, I mean, in the Senate and in the House, that's been in there for over 40 to some years. They need to sit down and let the new generation come in. And I know you're trying to keep your money going, but you should have pension by now. If you ain't got that enough pension to survive, then you shouldn't have been in there in the first place. And much as y'all done scheme money out of everybody, you should have enough money to survive off of and go and retire. Like you said, I said, what's that? And count your grandchildren and your great grand and your great,
Right.
great, great, great
But
grands.
who gonna
Well,
want to stop seeing all that money go into their accounts?
and that's what it is. They're greedy. They're just greedy. That's all
Exactly.
it is. It's all greed. They all have access to the stock market. They all have inside trading. As long as they don't get too crazy with it. Hey, Victor DeVille, you're gonna have to go to OTR, and we got it in the chat because my channel is not showing well unless it's gonna start showing. I bet you it's that chat that's making my channel not work right. But I'm gonna digress off of that. Because I never have any issues till we decide to do some
Having a chat on the screen.
yeah, having that chat on the screen like that where everybody can program into it is something up. But hey, Sheena B, thanks for joining us tonight. But yeah, I just think they all got access to inside trading with the stock market, as long as they don't have no gold in a coat pocket, suit pocket like the other guy did. What's the guy name that just went to the federal pen from the one
I,
of the
I know.
Democrats?
Uh,
I can't think of his name right now, but as long as they don't go too far, they make plenty of money. All of them are poor when they get in office, and then most of them when they leave, they all got a lot of money. Bernie Sanders say he the only one that got his same house. He don't live in no mansion. He in Vermont in his little wood cabin, I guess he say. But at the end of the day, Bernie got some coins also, in my opinion. He been dibbling dabbling in the stock market, not too much to make himself a millionaire, but they all went in there. They all gonna come out richer than what they were when they went in there, and I feel like that's what the problem is. They go in there, and I don't feel like everybody go in there to be corrupt. But once you in the system long enough, you see everybody putting their hands in the cookie jar. Eventually, you gonna stick your hand in the cookie jar also, and that's just it is what it is.
or not only that, just imagine if you're in a position of authority, a position of power, people are probably just gonna, you're gonna have to have conversations with people, and they gonna start. It's gonna be enticing conversations. So, or maybe threatening. I don't know. Do you think that they have threatening conversations?
Well, some of the people were saying that they I think it was Jasmine that was talking about it. There's some of the Republicans that came to her and was saying that their family members were threatened. So
See,
that's the reason why they didn't go against certain things. They say you come from me, that's different. But when you start messing with my family, I have to think about my family first. And sometimes you got enough people out here with this mega and everything else that will make a person's family feel uncomfortable because the threats are serious.
Hmm.
You
Well, we
got
didn't have
children.
all that till Agent Orange came in office.
Right.
When you got the Orange Godfather in charge, who's running it like
what do you know about them Democrats that caved? He must have something over their head.
probably do, but a lot of them that caved is not gonna be they caved. I don't feel like he had anything to do with it. I feel like they caved because of their constituents, and they're not gonna run for office again until 2030. Most of them still have 4 years in office. Most of them, two of them is going to retire, and then I think the other six is not going to be. They're not going to. They're not going to come up for like 4 years. So in 2030 is when their seat going to come up, and they're just hoping that you forget about it. By the time it's time for them to run for re-election, which will be in the second half of the next president's office. And Sayo said that he want John Fetterman out of there, and I do too, because John Fetterman, it's not the first time that he's voted with the Republicans. It's a lot of things that he vote along with the
Against
Republicans
his
on
party
against his party. So he need to go independent, or he need to go home.
or go to the Republican side.
Yeah, or
Exactly.
switch parties. Yeah, or
Uh-huh.
switch parties altogether.
Right, because you can't straddle the fence. Now, either you with us or you're not. Come on.
Well,
That's
I
why
guess
that's why Bernie Sanders went independent. He didn't agree with the Democratic Party, and I respect him for going independent. He caucused with us and he vote with us, but he said he's an independent, and I respect that.
yeah. But see, I feel like there's just different types of Democrats, and I think that is the problem. You know, um, no one's on one accord. Everybody feels like they have independent thought.
Well, that's the
Uh,
way Congress is supposed to be. But the Republicans seem to get all of their people on board, where the Democrat
Right.
leader don't seem to be able to get his people on board. Nancy Pelosi, she kept everybody in line. She had the you remember she had the squad, which was AOC and some other Corey Bush and some other women that were in what they call themselves the squad, right? But the
Yeah.
squad still voted with Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, she had the
She
squad
she
now.
she that she had them in line. She made sure she gave them a few things that they wanted just so that they can vote correctly, and that's what an effective leader does. He get his party together. He makes sure that we're all on one accord, just like Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries got everybody on one accord. It's a few things I don't like about him, but he do make sure that the house is on one accord.
Yeah, he does do that. That he does. I have to give you that. Yes, he does. But
And
I
he stay
think that,
on message with everybody too. He makes sure that
yeah,
you
he
know,
makes sure that you know what's going on and what's going down. He ain't gonna sit back and sugarcoat it.
or he's not going to just completely go against one of his, members publicly. I haven't seen it. He goes against Trump. All right, so let's move to the next thing because we're gonna talk about the Republican Party and their conniving ways. We was talking about Hakeem Jeffries looking conniving, but these people really are conniving. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is the thing that they put in this bill. We talked about the bill being passed. Isn't that what happened? The bill passed and they added something extra into this bill.
Well, the government was open, yeah, and they did have a package to open up the government, which was the budget. It was supposed to be in a continuing resolution where they're spending in the same levels that Biden spent, and not go over the amount that he spent. But the Republicans put a little, the Republicans in the Senate put an extra, you know,
A little something in there.
a extra trick.
Well, yeah,
So
let's see what that trick is. Oh, nope, not that one.
Bill to end the government shutdown moves to the House, we now know that Senate Republicans tucked in a provision that could potentially allow them to benefit financially from one of their favorite conspiracy theories. Now, you may remember early last month, some Republicans in the Senate nearly lost their minds after Chuck Grassley, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, the young man that he is, released this one-page unclassified document that references a preliminary toll analysis conducted by the FBI in 2023 of at least 9 Trump-allied Republican lawmakers. Now, according to the press release, that analysis was phone data the FBI looked at from January 4th through January 7th of 2021, which is, of course, the days surrounding the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. And despite their conspiracy theorizing, all that data showed when calls were made and to whom. That's all it showed, as well as the duration and the general location data of a call. That's it. This information was then folded into special counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation into Donald Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election. Republicans quickly claimed that this all was evidence of something worse than Watergate, is what they said, if you can believe it. And in a hearing that following that document's release, Republican members railed against what they're shorthanded as spying.
This is an outrage, an unconstitutional breach, and ought to be immediately addressed.
Can you tell me why my phone records, when I'm the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, were sought by the Jack Smith agents?
We've got a list. Tap my phone, tap Lindsey Graham's phone, tap Marsha Blackburn's phone. We've got nothing but concerns today, but no concern at all for a Justice Department that is tapping the phones of sitting United States senators because who knows why.
Now, that was quite a performance by that crew. Bravo to you, Josh Hawley and Lindsey Graham. The Oscar goes too. I mean, the thing is this document isn't the revelation they say it is at all. For one, nobody's phone was tapped, as Josh Hawley repeatedly claimed. After getting proper approval from a grand jury, the FBI collected essentially phone logs, and the existence of these logs haven't been hidden at all. If Republicans had managed to have actually read Volume 1 of Jack Smith's report, which maybe they should have, given they're so concerned, they would have seen that it references some of the calls, complete with a footnote that cites the phone records for all to see. That's also not to mention that if Jack Smith was serious about investigating the pressure campaign Trump and his alleged co-conspirators were waging to overturn the election, it would obviously make sense he would look at who was talking to whom and when. Because let's be honest, these lawmakers weren't exactly picked out of thin air. Even before Jack Smith took over this case, there were plenty of reports about the contact these exact lawmakers had made with Trump and his allies during this period of time. But despite all of that, they are still very, very mad about Jack Smith's very, very legitimate investigation. And now they've apparently added into the spending bill a new legal pathway that allows for senators to sue for as much as $500,000 for each time a federal investigator searches their phone records without notifying them. And would you look at that? The provision is retroactive to 2022.
Wow.
Meaning the senators who had enough of a proximity to Trump and the events of January 6th to warrant having their phone records requested are putting themselves in a position, with the help of their colleagues, to potentially make money off of that fact. Just when you thought they couldn't get shadier, they seem to surprise you.
Well,
Child.
so they gonna sue. So they found another way to sue the government
Well,
and
Trump said.
enrich themselves.
Well, Trump said he gonna sue the DOJ. Remember?
Yeah, he did. He did say he was going to sue him. So hey.
For $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the precedent that they setting.
But if you commit a crime, nobody is an exception to the rule. What part of
Nobody.
that what part of that do they not understand?
But not in this new administration. If you commit the crime, then you gonna get in trouble. But if they commit it, they gonna get a lawsuit. Where they get awarded millions of dollars off the taxpayers' dime. So that's crazy. And this
Well,
is what the
I would like.
Republicans, I mean the Democrats that caved, this is what they voted for.
Mm-hmm. But I would like to see them take that to court and see how they going and see if they're gonna win that.
Ain't no telling if they go under this administration.
Yeah, but it still got to go to court though, and that's what's been holding the line all this time is the courts.
Mm-hmm. All
But
right,
that's
Silverback.
that's my problem though. See, that's why I said Merrick Garland took too long to investigate this. He didn't get Jack Smith into the second half of Biden's. They didn't even start investigating until the second half of Biden's administration when they should have hit the ground running. And you see, she threw some shade at Chuck Grassley. She said a young man that he is because Chuck Grassley. I just looked his age up. He's 92 years old.
Oh my
The first man that we saw, Chuck Grassley,
Mm-hmm.
he 92. Why isn't he in the retirement home?
Lord, she said retirement home. Did you read?
Yes.
He might retire at home, not in one of them, in the facility, but then retire at home.
But why is he trying to put up a lawsuit against the government or I don't know.
He need his retirement money. He need his burial money. He need all this money,
He
man.
only got a couple of more years left.
All right. Well, I think they're trying to set a precedent. And what
Right.
I feel like they're trying to say, if I'm in the United States Senate or the House, well, it really is the senators, right? So if I'm a United States senator, I should be exempt to all rules. I should have full immunity, and I should be able to break the law without nobody saying anything. That's basically what I'm getting from that.
Me too. I feel the same way. From what I'm hearing from the Republican side, we can break all the laws we want to, and nobody, who's going to stop us? We're going to commit every law breaking. I'm like, what happened to the Constitution? Don't get me wrong, the Constitution don't back everybody, but damn, it seems like they breaking all the rules of the Constitution. I mean, until the judges started ringing them in, they were just out here just running amok.
Yeah. This is a new precedent that it looks like is being set. Like I said, we got a 34 count felon. I'll never stop saying it in the presidency. So what do you expect?
Well, we made history. We got a felon in office, and so we made history. You can't never take that away from the man. He might be the most hated man, but at least he got a title. The most felon to end up being in the White House. And oh wait a minute, hold up, we forgot. And the one that sit back and destroy a rental house.
Oh yeah, because the White House don't belong to him.
No, it's a rental house, and he done destroyed part of it. And now he got what is it, asbestos going through the White House. So the people are
Yeah.
concerned about that now. That's another thing that he's done
Don't
did.
tell me they gonna tear down the entire White House and start from scratch.
Well,
No,
it's more of a parsonage to me because a rental house you pay rent. This Mickey Ficky ain't paying nothing.
and the problem is he's rent free, but he's sitting there and he's tearing down part of the White House that he don't own, the American people own, but he don't own. And now he got asbestos going through the White House, and which he's risking people's lives because that's why they stopped with the construction because of the asbestos. And you got people working in there. And then you got people that, you relocated them, but you still got people that's still throughout the White House. When you get asbestos like that, it's bad with probably for people's health. And he's not thinking about that. You go to Mar-a-Lago and chill. These people got to work there. They got to walk around there. They got to cook and clean and everything. You putting their health at risk. And you ain't thinking about nobody but yourself.
Well,
Okay,
that's his
so
legacy. He trying to leave his legacy.
what
I
Really,
legacy?
he trying to leave a footprint on the White House. He really trying to make his mark. He can't win a Nobel Peace Prize. He can't get no type of no love from the American public other than his base. So I
that
feel like
man
he's
said
just
that
trying
he
to.
got the best polls in history since presidency. So
Well, they did make history, but it's the worst president of our time frame
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
And so
he's the worst.
that's the history that he's made, and so he can't get no love. He can't get no kind of satisfaction from the people that he want to get it from. So if he can't do that, then and he can't be one of the what's those foreheads called? He want to be up
on
there
Mount
too.
Rushmore,
Yeah, he can't be on Mount Rushmore more or anything. So
is
the
that what it
next
is?
best thing, yeah, the next best thing is to uh, build some brick and mortar because that's his brand.
Change the
Everything
White
that
House in his
everything
image.
everything that he owned, he put his name on it. And they say he want to put his name on the ballroom. How about that?
Wait a minute, okay, remember when he was in office the first time, he cemented the Rose Garden. Okay, it took Biden people to dig up the Rose Garden to put dirt back out there to make a Rose Garden again, and now he done put concrete over it again. This man don't, he's just destroying everything he touched. He don't even have the Midas touch. He had the destruction touch. And look, then think about it. He's the worst president hated in the world, not just the United States, in the world. even the leaders of other countries don't even respect him. We ain't heard no more from what his name, he my Chun over there in China. We ain't heard no more from Putin. Ain't none of them paying him no mind. They act like that man don't even exist anymore. He don't even talk about Putin. He don't even talk about China. He don't even talk about nothing. What's the man over there and that he got to the White House and embarrassed? He don't even
Uh,
talk.
You talking about Maduro?
No, 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 no. The one that my
Zelensky?
yeah, Zelensky. He don't
Oh,
even talk about.
Zelensky?
He don't
Yeah.
even talk about him no more. Nobody talks about Trump anymore. They don't even have a conversation with him anymore. You don't hear nothing in the White House in the last few months about any world leaders talking to him. None. Not even
He
Canada
just made a
talking to
few
him.
deals though. He went on a tour in Asia and they gave him a gold golf ball.
Oh wow. He already got. I ain't gonna say.
They did him, they gave him a personal tour around that room. I
Oh
think
wow.
that's you remember he is talking to them leaders.
Yeah, he talking to them. He's talking at them. He's not talking to them. He's talking at them. They
No,
talking
I'm
at
joking.
him. No, they talking at him. They ain't even talking to him. They talking at him because everything they say is going over his head. You notice that one of the leaders was sitting there in front of him, and he called the man's name and asked where was he at, and he was sitting right there in front of him. So that should tell you how much he pay attention to any of the world leaders. So
Well, yeah, we definitely got long way to go. He has only been in there what, less than a year, 11, 10, 10, 11 months. So
Yeah, the fourth made 11 months. November the 4th made 11 months that he's been in office.
so
Oh,
just
well, no, it should be November 20th, not the 4th, the 20th, because he got in office, what,
January
January.
20th.
January 20th? Yeah, so he got elected November the 4th, but he didn't actually get into office until January 20th. So the 20th of November will make in a whole 11, exactly 11 months that he's been in office. And he's been able to tear and destroy.
The
And
Constitution, the federal
yeah,
government, the
right.
aviation system, the
Govern,
groceries.
the longest shutdown. He beat the first record because the first one was the first time he was in office. It was the longest shutdown. So he topped that one off with this one.
Yeah, exactly. So he's definitely we got a lot. Oh Lord, I just
And this
thought
is remember
the
he got the record where the first president of the United States that hated throughout the world leaders. So hey,
that's one thing, but this man is really actually completely rearranging America, like our foundation and everything. He's literally like demolishing the White House and oh Lord, he stresses me out.
and think
But
about it. Have you noticed that we haven't had no threats of any terrorist attacks? Why? Because they sit back and say, well, he's destroying the country by himself. Why
we ain't
should
even
we
got
help?
to do it, okay? Let me find out he working with them. All right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They don't have to threaten. We don't have to have no threats, no none of that, because he doing enough by himself. We don't. He don't need no help to help turn America up. Hell, he turned it up himself.
Right. They sitting back with popcorn and they
Yeah,
feet up.
just back. Yeah, yeah. Every day it's a show.
You're
They
right.
watch. They watching this shit like it's a young. they watching this like it's a damn TV show. The bold and the destructive.
Right. This shit crazy. Oh, what do they say? What are we saying in the chat? Let's see. 3 more years to go. Oh my God, don't remind me. What's up, Charge? Them 304s. Um, he has touched every policy law. Um, mhm. Yeah, so y'all also guys, if y'all have any suggestions or if y'all come across any articles that you guys want us to talk about, please don't hesitate to email any of us. Leave it in the comment section. If you have an idea, we definitely want to hear from you guys, and we want to talk about the things that matter to you. Um, yeah, but that's really all of the things that we wanted to talk about today. We have a present. Oh, did we do the email? Oh, I didn't put it in. Let me see
Now
if I
you didn't put the email thing in.
I didn't, but I can pull it up.
Okay.
Let's see, because that's the biggest thing. All right, let's see if I can. All right, let's see.
Look, and look, we talking about him destroying everything. Well, look, he's out here shooting down boats. Mentos, what is it? What is it? What them little bitty boats called? Minnows? He's shooting down minnows. They called himself doing something grand by shooting down minnows. So, I mean, this man just going out here just doing anything. Just, okay, I wake up this morning, and what do I want to destroy today? I'm going to destroy this. It's going to make me look good. I'm going to destroy this. That's going to make me look good. What if I do this? Would that make me look better? That's how I feel like he just wake up in the morning and just feel like he want to destroy something. You know how kids wake up and say, I want to go outside? I feel like I'm going to go outside today. Then they wake up, I'm not going to go outside. Well, that's him. I want to destroy something, not today.
Well, y'all let me know if y'all can hear this.
In a bombshell revelation, Donald.
Yes.
Y'all heard it? All right, let's look at this video. I was supposed to trim it, guys, so it is 10 minutes long. Let's just kind of we'll look at it, and if we get enough of the information, we can talk about it from there.
Donald Trump has been exposed in a new trove of damaging emails in the Epstein files. In the first email, Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell, quote, I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. Maxwell responded, I've been thinking about that. In another email, Epstein wrote, Victim Mar-a-Lago. Trump said he asked me to resign, never remember ever. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. And finally, in a third email, Michael Wolff said to Epstein, I hear CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards, to which Epstein replied, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? And Wolff responded, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or, if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So, if you were wondering why Donald Trump was so hell-bent on burying his involvement with the Epstein files, if you were wondering why Trump, after being told by Pam Bondi, his attorney general, that he was in the files, dedicated FBI resources not to finding out the truth about who was involved in the Epstein sex trafficking ring, but rather to hiding his own involvement by putting 1,000 FBI agents on the job of flagging his presence in the files, this might be why. If you're wondering why Trump sent his little lapdog, Mike Johnson, pious Mike Johnson, out to prevent the House from being in session and engaging in what would ultimately become an 8-week paid vacation, this might be why. I mean, think about it. Why else do you think Trump was so eager to have the government stay out of session? Why else do you think Trump would send Mike Johnson on the job of refusing to swear in Adelita Grijalva so that she wouldn't become the 218th vote on the discharge petition? It's because he knew exactly what was in those files. When Pam Bondi flagged his name to him, he didn't want this moment right here to occur. He would rather have kept the government permanently closed than revealed his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, which we've already found out anyway right now. I asked Adelita Grijalva about this exact point. Here's what she had to say. And so why do you think that it's so important for Mike Johnson, assuming that that's the reason? I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I don't know what else it could possibly be that he's okay swearing people in during pro forma sessions if they're Republicans, swearing other people in if they would be the 217th vote for a discharge petition, which doesn't force a vote, but suddenly bristles at the notion of being able to swear in the 218th vote. So why do you think it is that Mike Johnson is so hell-bent on making sure that this doesn't come to the floor?
You know, I think that he's had some pretty clear direction from the White House. So, like, we don't want to see this. Because if we remember, when Trump was running for office, releasing the Epstein files was a really big deal. I mean, that was something he was going to do on day one.
Right.
And here we are. And I think what happened is they got a little gander at what was really in the files and thought, maybe that's not a good idea. And if we notice, you know, Speaker Johnson ended votes a week early, sent everyone home a week early to avoid a vote on the Epstein files. So that seems to be the common denominator. I'm like, I didn't want to assume. I really didn't know him. But it has been fairly surprising how easily, with a straight face, he can just lie and manipulate facts. It's been really fascinating to watch.
And she's right, by the way, about Mike Johnson. The reality is that he and his colleagues are solely focused on running cover for Trump and will lie as easily as the rest of us breathe. Case in point, what he said a few days back.
A leader, they don't have any identifiable set of policy solutions for the problems facing the American people. Their party continues to hit all-time historic lows in poll after poll after poll, and many of you have reported on that. These are objective facts. They're utterly lost as a party, and everybody can see it. So what are they doing? They see a shiny object, and they latch onto it. Democrats did not say one word about the Epstein files for the entire Biden presidency. They had all the files in the Biden DOJ. They didn't say a word about it. 4 years, not a word. And suddenly now they somehow convince themselves that the Epstein files will be damaging to President Trump and Republicans in some way that they've imagined. And so they feign outrage.
How about Mike Johnson claiming the Democrats have convinced themselves that the Epstein files will be, quote, damaging to President Trump and Republicans in some way that they've imagined, and so they feign outrage. Damaging in some way? Dude is in the files. Pam Bondi told Trump he was in the files. The files are so damaging that Mike Johnson...
That Trump had to dedicate FBI resources to make sure that they scrubbed his name from the entire thing. That's how damaging it would have been for him.
Hadn't called the House into session for over a month because he was too afraid of allowing them to be released. Damaging in some way? We got an email today that says, quote, I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victims spend hours at my house with him. And of course, if you're waiting for a response from Trump, it's virtually guaranteed to be something along the lines of, oh, well, this is all some Democrat hoax, because that's what he says every single time some of the drip, drip, drip comes out of tying him closer and closer to Jeffrey Epstein and his pedophile ring.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. I lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because they got duped by the Democrats. The Democrats are good for nothing. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
All my supporters want to talk about is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. It's unbelievable. It's a disgrace, and I remember every one of these guys. Yeah. They're my supporters, and they love it, and they love it, and it's all induced by the Democrats. Democrats are the ones that are getting them to say this stuff. It's all the same scam. They could look at this Jeffrey Epstein hoax also.
Yes, sir.
That's the same stuff. That's all put out by Democrats.
And remember, all of Trump's protests here might carry just a tad more weight if the guy was not at the center of Epstein's universe. Consider, too, that while Trump says that the Epstein...
Okay, so that pretty much sums up what's going on. I think that you guys get the idea. So, let me put this back on. Let's see. All right, so yeah, the Epstein file, the saga continues. Now, this is before the senator is was sworn in. So now, is this isn't wasn't produced after the vote, was it?
What are you talking about? The story or
The emails,
the emails?
right?
Yeah, they start talking about the emails yesterday.
Okay, right.
Well,
So
really, all week they've been kind of leading up to it. But yesterday, Hakeem Jeffries brought it. He brought it out yesterday or day before yesterday, because he knew that he knew that the government, once they start saying that those senators, once they got a kind of an idea that those 8 senators was going to go along with that, that's when Hakeem Jeffries started talking about it. And
mm,
keep in mind, Christopher Wray was the FBI director that Trump appointed. While he's talking about the Democrats, sir, that was your FBI director that you handpicked. Your dude that you handpicked brought this out. Okay, so it
Yep.
wasn't James Comey that brought it out. Your handpicked FBI agent Christopher Wray is the one who brought it out, who was investigating you, and your constituents, not the Democrats, your people, been asking you questions. You ran on this. He ran on that he was going to open up the Epstein files. Remember, y'all remember when he was running for office? He
Yep.
told his people that he was going to produce these files. Then remember he had a big production with him and the FBI director and the DOJ and everybody was all out in the Rose Garden playing like they had some binders with the files or what have you. And then come to find out, he said it. You remember they said it was nothing to see in the files.
right. No, there.
So no,
You
there is
also,
basically what they said.
and remember also, Elon Musk asked him when he was in the Oval Office, he asked him, "Do you want when he was releasing Martin Luther King's and Kennedy's?" He said, "Do
Mm-hmm.
you want me to go ahead and release Epstein file?" And he was like, "Well, Epstein was a good guy. I had
Yeah.
respect for him and blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
blah." But he never said go ahead and release him. He just said he was a good guy, and I respect him. I'm sorry that he died, but it went on from there. But he never told him. He never gave him the answer to release. He said for Kennedy and Martin Luther King, yes. But when it came to that, he was a good guy. He was an upstanding guy, and I respect him. And I'm sorry that he died, but he was an upset. He was an upstanding guy, and da 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 da. Okay, but you never told him to release it. So that lets me know that Elon Musk still got some files on, well, allegedly, that he has the Epstein files in storage somewhere, you know, that he can, And remember when he got into that the bromance was ending? Remember Epstein, Elon Musk said in his Twitter chat, he said, you forgot I still have the Epstein files. Do you want me to release them? And that's when Trump
Hmm.
backed off of him. Remember, Trump backed off. He was talking big stuff till he said that. Then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden he backed off. He ain't say no more. Then after all of a sudden they bromance came back together on neutral grounds.
No, Trump didn't back off. He said, that's all right. I'll go ahead and remove all them subsidies. Out in Trump.
Exactly.
Out in Elon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he started threatening to take his contracts away. And Elon is the one who shut the hell up.
He said, do you know Elon is a subsidy queen? Is a welfare queen. His all his wealth came from government contracts. So I can end him. He can keep talking if he
And
want.
that, well, he said he
And he
said
said he might deport him. Remember, he said he might
Oh, he
find
said, yeah,
himself.
I might go in and
He said he might find
deep.
himself. He might find himself back in Africa. Is what Trump had said. Is what I
right.
remember.
Yeah,
Right,
he did.
right.
But Elon came back. If you remember too, Elon came back and said, "Okay, remember now. I also remember you did not actually win this election without me. Remember the actual score was, and he gave the numbers of how many Democrat votes that basically saying what's name won and you lost. But I changed it for you, so he, in an end window way. So there was some tag team back there for a moment, and so that lets me know. Then all of a sudden now the Epstein files is coming out. Now think about it. After this bromance was over, all of a sudden the Epstein files is coming out now. Before that was no Epstein files coming out.
But that's not because I feel like that's not anything that Trump is worried about. I feel like Elon, yes, he has a lot of money, but Trump has this cult like following, and they're gonna, I mean, they stopped buying Teslas.
For a
Like,
moment, but they still buying them.
MAGA, yeah, MAGA don't like Elon Musk, and let me just tell you why these files came out. It's because of remember the guy Michael Wolff that was writing the book on Epstein,
hmm
and remember he interviewed Donald Trump also when he was writing this book.
and
I
that interview
wholeheartedly,
was released.
I wholeheartedly feel Michael Wolff is the reason why these damn emails is coming out because he's the one who had the inside scoop and the inside story about Jeffrey Epstein, and he's been on his little media tour or so what have you. So I feel like Congress got in contact with Michael Wolff, and that's how Congress got their hands on these emails because Pam Bundy and the DOJ is not released, and Patel, the FBI director, they're not releasing anything.
All the
Um,
information that's being released is coming from outside of.
it's outside sources, and I feel like Michael Wolff allegedly probably provided Hakeem them with these emails. That's what I feel like is going on. I don't think Elon Musk have anything to do with it. I think it's Michael Wolff.
Do you think that the files are available somewhere else to be released, but they just waiting to see what the government does?
Yeah, right there in Hakeem Jeffries' damn file cabinet.
They say, okay, you keep messing around. We trying to give you a out. We trying to give you a government mandate, a judge mandate, so you ain't even gotta say, you know what I'm saying? Release these files. Well,
and I wouldn't
Freedom,
and I wouldn't put it
freedom.
past them to use them as leverage to
no,
get
that's
what
what
they
I'm
want.
saying. They go,
Yeah, yeah.
they,
Eventually, they're gonna use it for leverage.
huh.
I think when the House, I mean the Democrats take over the House or one of the Senates from midterm,
Hmm.
I think that's when the files going rest of the
Oh
files gonna
yeah.
come out.
Yeah, because they'll give a subpoena and they'll subpoena the DOJ and make them because the DOJ is under they he's the DOJ is supposed to be an independent entity, and they're not really supposed to be doing what the president say do. They do what Congress say do. Congress has just as much power as the president does. All three branches of government does. It's all equal. That's why they call it the
Co-equal, right?
equal branch of government. The House, the Senate, and the president. They're all separate, but they all have the same powers. And if the Senate, they could do that right today, but the Republicans are in charge and they don't, they're trying to protect their boy. But if the Democrats are in charge, you heard what they said. That's the threat. If the Democrats be in charge, it's gonna be all these investigations and findings and hearings, and they're scared out of their pants that the Democrats is gonna be in charge next year. And I think the Republicans want the Democrats in charge. I really believe because they ultimately behind the scenes and from the grapevine, nobody really even like him. They're afraid of him because of the threats and the Godfather style that he runs the Congress on. And he really thought he was going to strong arm them and make them get rid of the filibuster to open the governor back up. And some things they stand firm on, but I'm pretty sure John Thune got all kind of threats last week for not doing the filibuster.
Exactly,
That's look,
exactly.
Allegedly.
alleged. Look, and that's the reason.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's the reason why them Democrats had to cave. They had to go ahead and make that trip over to their family, to their house. So your wife. Yeah. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, but it's all a circus, and the Wizard of Oz is gonna. I think the cloth is getting ready to come down from the Wizard of Oz, and it ain't just the Democrats that's interested in this story. MAGA is interested in this story. His own constituents want this story.
Yes, they've been begging for it and yelling about it and talking about it. Cause you said you're going to show it. And that's why they've been waiting for the longest to know, because they want to know who all involved besides you.
Well, they think it's a lot of Democrats involved, and they're gonna have a rude awakening when they find out it's a bunch of foreigners and
Yes, rude.
billionaires.
Yes, rude, 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 rude awakening.
I mean, it's a few Democrats in there, i.e., Clinton,
Clinton. Mm-hmm.
But there's quite a
and a
few
few
of them.
more,
Yeah,
and a
there's a
few
few.
more Dems are in there, sprinkled around in there, but mostly it's foreign. It's really foreign dignitaries. From the research that I done, that's another reason why they don't want to release it. Look at Prince Andrew; he got caught up in it, but he's
Yeah.
not the only one overseas that's been to that island. Um, I- from what I read and heard, Epstein's father was connected with a lot of dignitaries overseas, and it's a lot of overseas people that's high profile that's been to that island that's in those records also.
Yes, a lot of high profile to that island. A lot. More than people think. More than people think.
I don't even think people really even think about it. But
No, oh, they think about it. They think about it because
no, I mean, I don't even think we can really fathom what kind of life that is. Like for me, I can't even. That's like movie stuff.
Exactly.
yeah, there's movie stuff, but it's real life. And hey, look at how we didn't phantom. I never thought I would see a mayor in Illinois that acted so ghetto and still and had a position as a mayor.
Well, I feel like if the Dems win the House and the Senate next year, um, they're gonna all those victims because they haven't really had their day in Congress yet. They gonna have each and every last one of them victims that's walking around right now, come in there and tell the whole story, and they gonna put it all out in the American public. Watch and see.
Oh yeah,
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah,
It's gonna be a big movie too. Once all this stuff come out,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, baby, I'm gonna get my popcorn ready and my sweet tea, and I'm gonna just sit here and eat popcorn and watch the shenanigans go on.
well,
Now,
I'm definitely.
what I normally do when I watch a movie, if I have it, is my Pepsi and my popcorn. Now, if I can't get a Pepsi and I have a beer, then I have a beer in my popcorn. But most of the time, it's Pepsi and my popcorn with the little butter thing that you can pour over the popcorn, so I can make sure
Mm-hmm.
it's good and buttery, so I can make sure I get a good view
She's
of
a
it.
good and buttery.
Uh, some popcorn do sound good. Um, so basically, we have a government open because the Democrats act like some little punks and decided to cave in. Um,
But you
we
got to look
have
at it. Their constituents was starving. They didn't want their people. I mean, I understand they was trying to hold out, but they had to look at their constituents. They got to look at their area, and a
the
lot of them.
Republicans didn't give a damn about their constituents.
But that's the difference. They didn't give a damn. The Democrats are trying to show we do give a damn about the people. We can't let the people continue to go on. That could have gone on for even more months, and these people be starving. They ain't giving them no food stamps. They're not giving them insurance. And the people are unemployed. No, enough is enough. They had to come in, and I understand why they
The
gave in.
But they
mm-mm.
did get something. They did get a few things out of the deal. They
The
got
overwhelming majority of America blames the shutdown on the Republicans. They don't
exactly.
look at it as the Democrats' fault, and the Democrats shouldn't take ownership over something that they didn't have. It's
They
not their
shouldn't.
fault
They shouldn't have
over.
caved. They shouldn't have caved because the Republicans was right there on the verge of caving in
They
because they
should have,
couldn't take
yeah.
it too much longer. The whole thing about it is, it's all about the Benjamins. It's always about the money. The holidays are coming up. The airlines had already cut 40% of the flights.
The Republicans wouldn't have been able to stay, hold out for much longer.
No, because the holidays are coming up.
Right.
And and the economy was beginning to feel the pain. People wasn't getting paid. So the things that they got out of the government reopening, and so let's break that down a little bit also. They did get an increase in food stamps for the people that is on a government assistance for 1 year. They also got all the federal workers back to work with their back pay because Agent Orange was threatening to not even pay the people their back pay. And they got was one more thing that they got that that they felt like was a win for them. The only thing that they didn't get was the health care. Oh, they got the government back open, and Grajada got she got
Born
sworn
in.
in, which would give her the ability to do that one vote that they need to open up these files, to start the process to take a vote to open up the Epstein files. And so tonight or today, Trump was lobbying the four Republicans that went along with the Democrats to do the vote. He had Lauren Boebert in his office today trying to change her vote on voting on the files. So he's worried about it. He's sweating big time.
So, but just imagine if they had, and that's all good and dandy. And I think the people, they need their paycheck. They deserve their paycheck. They should.
Well, and also to the people that got fired, he made them they were able to get their jobs back because remember he fired some people while the government was shut down. So
Hmm.
all of those people will be able to come back to work. So that was another thing that they got.
Okay, so do you think that if they would have held out a little longer, Democrats, and the pressure would have been really on Republicans, do you think they would not have had that same leverage to still get those same things passed?
I think so. And they would have probably got an extension on the Obamacare, which they were trying to get for 1 year.
I feel like that too.
But it's a blessing in disguise. Yes, people are not going to have health care, but it's going to help you in the election for 2026.
Because you
So
definitely not
it's
gonna
kind
vote
of like
for
a
it, right?
double-edged sword. You win on one end and you lost, but you didn't lose. So it's
But
like
I
it's
also
like you're
think
playing. You
that,
have to play. You have to look at it as chess because
but
if
it's
they
not
don't,
chess if the public has already formulated an opinion. This
yeah,
is
but the public easily forget. But if you go without your health care for a whole year, you're not going to forget that. You know
And the
how
price.
quickly everybody forget things, real quickly because we're of the social media area. A story that was in the news last week, I guarantee you, nobody can probably tell us what was in the news last week, other than the government shutdown.
Right.
Well, I guess I could because I know the UPS plane crashed, and what 8 people got unalived from the plane crash. But
hmm
the average person don't remember the news cycle because it happens so fast and there's so much going on. People forget. They're not going to forget that they don't have their health care and the Republicans took their health care. So let them if around and find out and not take that vote next month in December because that's when they're supposed to take the vote. Because the open enrollment closed in December and your new plan is going to start in January. So let them not give these people this health care. It's just going to put them further behind, and it's just going to guarantee that we're going to own. If they do that, because we wasn't really gauged to get the Senate next year. But the shenanigans that they're pulling, oh, it's going to be a tsunami in the Senate and in the House.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
last mudslide. Uh,
A
but
landslide.
landslide, tsunami, volcano eruption, all the different natural disasters is gonna occur because just like the Mamdani socialist policies that he's trying to push. Do you think that after going the whole year without health care or without being able to afford it, healthcare for all starts to look real good to everybody?
Yeah,
So
yeah, socialist healthcare gonna look real good to everybody. So
right.
they're just pushing us in a direction that they don't want to go. It's just like when you have a child and your child is dating somebody and you can't stand that person. So you're constantly telling your child, don't date that person. Don't leave them alone because they're no good or whatever. What do that child do? They
The
gravitate to
exact
that person
opposite.
even
Right.
more.
Exactly.
And it's going to be the opposite of what they're trying to do, the Republicans, and so they know they're doomed.
Do they though? Because I think they got the master plan. They think they winning.
Greg, little Hot Wheels is shaking in his boots right today. Did you see that little press conference he had? He
Uh-uh.
only normally he have 65-70% of Texans that's on his side. Why he at 50%?
Mm.
Ken Paxton is running for Senate, and he was at one of the colleges. He didn't even take any questions. He gave his little speech and walked right out the door. So they know that they're not, and Ted Cruz was on TV yesterday
But you know
saying
that's
that
why
his
they
numbers
trying.
were low.
That's why they trying to push this agenda to not have elections no more. They're gonna try to do something to where that- Trump remodeling his new home, his new permanent home in his mind.
Yeah, well, he can do what he want to do, but the march come January 20th at 12
I'm
o'clock,
joking.
he gonna have to exit left, baby.
I'm joking, yeah.
And the marshals is gonna help him exit left. He can try to pull whatever he want to pull, but the law is the law, and the Constitution is the Constitution. So that ain't happening. Even Mike Johnson said it'd take 10 years to get the Constitution changed. So that's not happening. Him and Steve Bannon can holler that all they want, but that ain't gonna be happening. Now they can be in in a fairy tale land. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But he can build what he want to do, and say and destroy whatever he want to destroy. But come January 20th at 12 p.m., he got to go one way or the other, whichever, however he wanted.
In the words of what was the guy, the FBI man that said we could do this the easy way or the hard way? That wasn't the FBI. That was
No, that was the budget office or
the
somebody.
budget
I
out.
forgot. I forgot that. What that guy's budget office? Yeah, he the one holler. Yeah, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Same rule gonna apply to his boss. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot to keep up with. Um, if you guys are still in the chat, we appreciate you guys. I think that this is, a good time, a good point to for us to fall off on and pick it back up on the next show.
Yeah, and let me just say this. I think it's a conspiracy going on with my channel and Minion. I think Minion did something so that my channel wouldn't work because I checked all the other channels. LTR working fine, Foxy 2, Roxy 3 working fine, Minion with the Pin channel working. The only channel not working is I said what I said. So I think Minion did something,
Yeah.
and I apologize to my group of people that couldn't watch the show. But if you go to OTR live show, we put it in the chat several times, or you can go um, to my colleagues' channel,
She's like
Foxy Two.
colleagues.
Yeah, yeah, my so-called colleague
Alright.
channel, Minion with Opinion, and my real colleague channel, Foxy 2, Roxy 3. You know.
Why would I not want your channel to be working, y'all? And make sure that y'all go, if y'all are on my channel, make sure that you guys go to I Said What I Said. And even if you can't see the video, I haven't checked, unfortunately, but if you can't see it, at least like the video and at least make sure that you subscribe to her channel, y'all.
Yeah, don't that sound just like Agent Orange trying to play like he really on your side?
You know,
But yeah, I don't know what happened to my channel. I don't know, but yeah, it's not playing on my channel, so I apologize to the public. But you definitely can catch the show on Foxy 2, Roxy 3, and Minion with Opinion, and the OTR live show, off the record channel.
and then also, if you guys could do us a huge favor and go over to the Off the Record channel and hit the subscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button. That's all you got to do. All right. Um, but I guess now that we're at the end, and for the record, y'all, I did not mess with I Said What I Said's channel. Hopefully, we'll see because it may. Does it show? Is it showing at all?
No, it's totally clocking. Totally clocking. It showed the first 5 minutes when we were opening up, and during the song, it just started clocking. And when Real said that what's going on, or we having issues, it clocked the whole entire time. So I don't know what's going on with it.
Okay, we're gonna have to investigate it and at least see if it plays on the replay.
Yeah, and I checked it and to make sure that it was on and everything. So yeah, it's saying that it's on, and I can watch it from YouTube up here. You know where the channels are affected or what have you. But it is what it is. It's okay.
We're gonna have to
But
investigate.
you do have my channel last for some reason. So OTR kind of hopped up second, but I'm last. So guys, I just don't know.
And then also, guys, don't make her think that I have all this power, cause she could get in there and she could edit the title and description herself.
Okay, while y'all arguing over that, I'm gonna step away for a moment. I got an emergency in my dining room, in my kitchen. Upstairs is flooding and it's draining down into my
Ooh,
kitchen and my
okay,
dining room.
Fox.
So I'll be back as soon as can. If not, I love everybody, and if they don't, if y'all in the show, I'm thankful for letting me be on here. Thank you all for letting me talk to y'all. But right now I'm trying to deal with this emergency. So I love y'all, and may God bless you.
Okay, Foxy. Well, good luck with
uh,
that. We're getting ready to end. We just kind of just messing around.
yeah. We just messing around. All right. Well, thank you guys again for being here. Um, do you have any final words? Well, my final words is that y'all, this is a shit show. It's a fucking shit show. And we shouldn't even be at the point where this is like our normal, like this is our entertainment. This is what we want to talk about. This is the reason why there's so many people, young people, engaged into the politics right now. Because this is, like you said, a social media government. And I don't think this should be the new standard, but we still gonna be reporting on the madness. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
Exactly. And I hate that we're living in a world where up is down and down is up, right is wrong and left is right. And so we just gotta hang tight. And we're gonna continue to bring you what we feel like are the important stories to you on off the record. And we're gonna stay engaged. You guys know I'm definitely gonna stay engaged, and Minion and Foxy do too. It's just that I get into it a little bit more depth than them because I got nothing but time on my hands,
Right.
and so I sit here and watch this stuff all day long of what's going on and what's happening or what have you. And so we're gonna stay on it though with off the record, and we're gonna report, the important things that we feel like you guys should know, what you should be aware of, and really just try to keep you motivated because there is a lot of things going on. There's so much doom and gloom. So when we bring the show, that's why we do a lot of laughing and we try to make it fun and light. It's also serious and real, but we also try to put a little, a little humor to it because that's all we can do is laugh. If we wouldn't laugh about it, hell, we'll be crying about it. Okay. So that's basically what we're trying to keep you from doing, from getting down and depressed and crying about the shit, because it really is a shit show for real. And on that note, thank you guys for coming out. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't. Subscribe to the OTR channel, which is off the record, Minion with an Opinion, and Foxy 2, Roxy 3, and I Said What I Said channel. And we do appreciate everybody who showed up and participated in the chat with us. And you guys have a great night.
No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. No filters here, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record. Minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2, Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything that is exactly what he said right here in the studio. That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard. Lizzy with the facts, she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzy drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. Off the record.